Okay, well, yesterday's video wasn't any good, and who knows why. So I deleted the, which camera was I using yesterday? Let me see. It should be laying here someplace. Anyway, I'm back using the Razer camera, and I've spent, I don't know how many hours now. And it was, I'm not sure. It was, I think yesterday or the day before, something like that. Some new fixes came out for the, hang on a second, let me grab that camera so I can remember what the name of it is. Don't touch your mouse. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. It was the Avery Media. Whoops, got my finger covered. So this is what I was using. And there was a small upgrade or something to their software, and I installed it, and I think that was responsible for the problem that I had with yesterday's video, which is still online right now. But when I finish this video, if this video is okay, I'm going to delete yesterday's video, and this will be anyway, it's a pain in the butt. I had a feeling the Avery video, I forget how they put it, that there was a couple of things to be improved or something or other, and I installed those, and I thought, because of the way it installed, 2 or 3 go-arounds or whatever, and I just thought, this is not going to, and that's sure enough. But it may have been something else. It might still be something else. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see with this video. So I'm back using the this one, the Razer. I don't know if I have any room on my board over here to write down what I'm using. I guess that'd be a good idea for me. So I forget who it is. I don't think it's a history guy. There's a guy that has, I haven't watched his videos actually in quite a while, but I was watching them all the time. And I don't think it was a history guy. But he, back months ago or whatever, was showing his basement of his house. I think it was his house, yeah. And he had like each room, of course it didn't look like a room, it was like a studio, but he had each one he set up, and he would go to the one room and he would make the, video, I don't know, early warships or something, or, whatever. Then he would, now he had somebody else, I don't know how many employees he had, but he had somebody else that was not at the house. And so the guy making the videos would, leave it to this guy then to be editing the videos and putting in whatever the person puts in. This guy would go to the next room, which was set up with a different, stuff, background and that type of stuff. Then he'd make his video, and I don't know how many he did in a day, 3, 4, 5 or something. And You know, you'd think, of course, you know, you can do stuff remote, but anyway, they're sort of like what I need, except I'd like to have two computer systems totally set up that, and I'd have like, maybe I'd run or maybe I'd do it differently, you know, different. Maybe I'd use a single lens, you know, Panasonic. I have the adapters for that kind of stuff. You know, something like that, and then just have this set up with whatever, you know, and then have the other computer totally set up with, and then if I had a problem, and I'd go make my video, but if I saw that, you know, that I wasn't getting a sync, you know, signal there, or something else was wrong, then I'd just move to the other computer and maybe just give up on all this. Pain in the butt. Anyway, let's see. I think it was the, must be the, since I'm running this now, the Razer. So it must be the Avery Media. Didn't seem like it is though. The software for this, I guess, there would be, yeah, because they're not on here anymore on my screen because I deleted them. You know, I went through and deleted everything that I thought. And the problem with that was they have like 10 or 15, you know, icons on the desktop. Of course, I could put them in a folder. I could put them, you know, but if they're on the, they were on the desktop. And I had no idea, you know, like one of them would be for the settings for the camera, and another thing would be for something else, and something else having to do with, you know, but I had no idea what they, you know, what they were, because the thing didn't say, you know, why couldn't the thing, you know, the icon, why couldn't it say, you know, camera settings, or, you know, something else? But no, they have some type of a fancy sounding name for it, you know. And one of the things is for doing changing your desktops, you know, with things that they have some nice ones, they designed nice ones, but like, keep it simple. Anyway, in yesterday's video, which I hope this is going to be okay, and I'm going to go delete it, but I'll move over a couple of the data things, or the things that I did with AI, artificial intelligence. And I did one on, Boy Scout, was it Boy Scouts of America? Was that yesterday? And the UK Boy Scouts? Or was that the day before? And then also, a thing about Fort Worth, Texas, that's where I live, is getting ready to install the hardware and the software that can detect where when a round, a bullet or gun is fired. And that's something that in fact, just a few days ago, I was talking about nationwide, and that I thought that Washington, D.C. probably had every inch covered, but that some place like Fort Worth couldn't afford to do that. And then it turns out that Fort Worth is, but then it also turned out, you'll see it on here if this video is okay. And the way it's working, it's going to be, I thought there would be a few strategic locations you know, with the antenna up and everything. But no, I guess it's more like what the UK does, which is, you know, because of their terrorism problem in the past. I guess the UK has a lot of cameras and microphones and everything else, and apparently, now this thing didn't say that, you know, that Fort Worth was copying that, but it was interesting that they're going to go on every where there's a light, you know, like a light pole, and on every one of those will be a unit, and apparently it's pretty small. I was figuring it had to be an you know, like some type of an antenna. Well, it will be an antenna, but for picking up the sound of a gunshot. But there will also be a camera there, and it's going to be all over. You know, not just, they need it here. This is West Fort Worth, and then I guess downtown Fort Worth and whatever. It's a problem down there, but it's a problem out here. In fact, the apartment complex, if you've seen the video or whatever, you've got probably an approximate idea of what it looks like around here. And there's a fence, a wooden fence, between us and the place over next door, which is a place for elderly, and it's not just an old folks home. It's for people who need, you know, and they need some care or whatever. But back a few months ago, I heard, you know, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I heard gunshots, and I went and looked out the patio door, and I could see on the street already, you know, because there were heavy presence of, did I say presence? Anyway, the police have been hanging out in this area, and so I guess they were right there when they heard the gunshots. And now my daughter Hillary, she's not living here now. She, with her son, is outside of Fort Worth, not because of the shooting or anything, but Hillary was out on her doorstep or whatever, which is, if you've seen the, you know, the apartments here, on the back you have a patio, but there's no gate to get in that patio. I mean, it's a small area where we have in ours we have 2 cat houses, and I have now a bunch of firewood in case our grid goes down. But so Hillary was on, you know, the side of the building facing there, out there on the 2nd floor, and she saw and heard everything. A young guy, very young, a kid, was running, and somebody was shooting at him, and he was running, and he ran over the vacant lot. He ran over, you know, a few feet from here, and a few feet from where Hillary was, and Hillary could look right down and see and hear everything. And the young man was shot and fell. He was shot at many times, and he hit the ground, and right away there was a Fort Worth police officer there, and Hillary could hear what the police officer was saying. Now, son, you're going to be okay. Now, son, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. He wasn't. He died. The kid died right away. So, how did I get on that subject? I don't remember. There was a reason. Oh, about the... So I don't know how long it's going to take Fort Worth to get these things set up, but they definitely need it, and I've talked about it, not just in some videos, but also when I was doing WordPress and all kinds of stuff like that, that they needed, you know, that they needed that. In fact, it looks like we're going to get it. I think in the UK there's an awful lot of now that the situation with Ireland is resolved to a great degree, I think the people in London and other parts of the UK don't like the so many microphones and so many cameras or whatever, for privacy reasons. If you're going into a adult bookstore or something, rather, there'll be video of you, and the video and that type of stuff should be used for certain purposes, but not, it's going to be, see, what else could you, say an abortion, well, here, it wouldn't be over there, but here in the United States, if you were going into an abortion center, which actually, over here, an organization called Planned Parenthood, and they had, I don't think they have as many because it was dangerous, and there's legislation in the various states, Republican states, that have done everything they can to put Planned Parenthood out of business. And Planned Parenthood, I had a vasectomy. That's where I had my vasectomy, at Planned Parenthood. They do, other things, and they give medical care to women for women's problems and all kinds of stuff. But so there would be, here, and in other states in the United States would be, you going into a porn shop, you going into, I guess if there's a bar that is a gay bar or a transsexual bar or whatever they had, that the cameras would see and hear people going in and out, and then you'd have, so I guess there's legitimate reasons for concern about that and things like that. So I guess I better not make this too long so I can make sure that it works. But like I said, what I'm going to do is yesterday's video, if this is, I made, I think, about 3 videos, yesterday. I think just one of them was messed up. But I will put the links from yesterday below. And I think that's the one that had, where I used artificial intelligence using Microsoft Edge, I think it is. And I did a search for information, or, produced me information about the difference between Boy Scouts in the United States of America and in the UK. And then I did another one on something else. I forget what that was. And both of them worked out well. And of course, this is just for artificial intelligence. This is just now. This is the beginning, just the very beginning. At least what we're, us rank and file people are able to accomplish. By the way, I watch a bunch of Tech TV's videos that they make, and some other tech people, and the experts. They're saying that if you're really interested in AI, which I think probably a whole bunch of people are, well, we know they are, that it's going to be, there'll be some new computers coming out, and I don't think it may not be, the Windows computers for the end of this year, but at some point, very soon, you're really going to want a computer that has some special chips in it, or has some extra special memory or something that it needs to really use AI well. So unless you really need it, or unless you positively know I don't care about artificial intelligence or something, you may want to hold off on buying a computer. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please keep your fingers crossed. It looks like that. Looks like that's in sync. So, okay, gonna upload this, and then I'll upload this and I'll look at it, make sure it's okay. If it is, then I'll go in yesterday's video, I'll copy the two AI things and paste them over here on this video, and then I'll delete that one that was, I think, a little bit out of sync or something. I really didn't watch enough of it to see, except I know it was, I could tell when I was making that video yesterday, because I was looking at, like the microphone input thing, and it wasn't responding the way it should, and then even the video a few times was freezing with me. So while I was making the video, so I knew it wasn't going to be, I knew I had a problem. So, okay, cross your fingers. I'll be right back, except with with this video.